Welcome to Global Champions League Round 2, live from the Longines Arena at the El Shakab in Doha. We are preparing for a fantastic evening of show jumping, the best in the world, the most iconic locations in the world, and the very first stage in the 2025 season now officially gets underway. We are excited to how things have played out in the opening round of GCL, and we now get ready for the second round of Global Champions League, back-to-back rounds in the same day now in 2025. And the team to catch is the Scandinavian Vikings. Because of that, we are delighted to welcome Geir Gulliksen into the studio to give us some thoughts on how his team has been performing. Geir, you must be a very, very happy man. Give me some thoughts, some reaction as to what happened in round one.
No, round one was very, very good. And like Deirdre, she never rode on a team like that before. And you know, so I didn't put any pressure on her, but she must have a little bit pressure, but she performed super, and Johan jumped very good. You know, like I was a bit mad if he had one down because he went a bit fast for me.
Yeah.
You know?
He did look a little aggressive. Was that team conversation?
No, I told him to go clear, and then he did his own there. So I just called him. He has to sharpen up. I said, now second round, we have to go for the team, you know.
If it's not broken, don't fix it. I understand. But you are one of the very few teams that has not made a single change. No rider, no horse, nothing. Talk to me about the idea behind that. Is that to keep it consistent? Is that because you don't have a choice? Are you confident with who you have? Why no changes?
Oh, we are, like Deirdre has only one top horse and Johan has only one top horse. Clever. And we said, right, since it's a day, on this show, we try to focus on the team. So they both take the two best horses and they jump them 2 times today. So that was a strategy from the beginning. But we are very lucky to be in our position, that we are in a position. But also, you know, being in this job for so many years, there's nothing is over before the fat lady sings, you know. Yeah. So now, we can be last after this, but I'm not saying I'm not pessimistic. But I tried, the horses are jumping well and they rode well, and if they can keep up the good work from the first round, I think could have a chance, you know. But we're happy if we can. At least we had one good stage and we can build on that.
Talk to me about the work in the winter, because it looks as if you come to Doha in wonderful form. Everyone looks very relaxed. Team messaging looks very calm. What have you been focusing on in the winter? In the build-up to Doha?
No, first to put a team together, and we have a team with a lot of younger, not very famous ones. Henrik went to Istanbul, yeah, and Evelina stopped riding. So I got Deirdre in and Lara Triber, which is 2 upcoming riders, you know, and I think it's nice to have a team where we give them a chance to develop, you know, like, and we don't put a lot of pressure on. Everybody tries to do their best. It's not like nobody gets like a row of shit if they have 1 down or 2 down, you know, like we try to do the best, and I know the riders try their best, so that's why I think it's relaxed. But we have to focus now, and now we're in a good position, so if we do well now, we can have a good result.
What are you expecting in round 2? I see course walk is underway, the riders are in the ring. I don't know if you had a chance to walk it yet.
I walked it.
What are you expecting? How does it
difficult. Yeah,
how does it walk?
You need to be very accurate, you know, like it's easy to have 2 down here, you know.
Anything that concerns you, that stands out?
No, I don't think. It's just in general. It's a careful course, you know. You have to be accurate on the distances. It's skinny verticals, and you know, like you need to be accurate. And if you're accurate and you also jump well, you can do well. But it's very easy to have 2 down here without having a disastrous round.
All right, I hope for a good second round. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Lovely first round. Thank you very much, Geir Gulliksen, giving us some thoughts and some reaction for a wonderful start for the Scandinavian Vikings. They will be the last team to go. So, if they are the team that has not made any changes, let's go then to Ed Holloway. Ed, you were talking to us about some changes. Not many teams have not made a change, Scandinavian Vikings being one of them. What stands out for you, Ed Holloway? Who has made some important changes, big rider changes, horse changes? Talk to me about that round 2 star list, how different things look. All right, Ed, we seem to have an audio issue. Stay with us, Ed. Don't run away. We want to hear from you. We're trying to see if we can get you back onto the microphone to get some thoughts and some reaction as well. Just please give me some confirmation as to when Ed is available to come back to us. We also want to go back to him as well for some ring perspective, some thoughts on what has been designed here for the second round of Global Champions League Round 2. Ed Holloway standing by. I'll take you through some of those changes, by the way, as we stand by and await for Ed. There is a horse change for Alexa Ferrer. There is a horse change for Nadia Petersteiner. And there are a couple of changes as well. Christian Kukuk and Shah George. This is how they shape up. We mentioned the very, very impressive start time for the Scandinavian Vikings. They will be last to go. First out the gate, the Doha Falcons, I'm afraid, will have a lot of work to do. Basim Mohammed, Julian Akertin, they come in on 27 penalties already. A long afternoon lined up for them after a very difficult opening round. Paris Panthers and Rome Gladiators will follow. Madrid Emotion, somewhat surprising for them as well. 8 penalties for Eduardo Alvarez Aznar in that opening round on Legend. Very uncharacteristic for the Spaniard. Riesbeck International, powered by Horse Gym, will be next. Speak about uncharacteristics. They don't often find themselves on 8 penalties going into round 2. Camili with 8. A clear, though, from Philip Weishout. He gets changed out for Christian Kukuk and Shah George in that second round. Shanghai Swans, double horse change for Christian Ellman and Daniel Deusser. And the Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem Equestrian Team, sees a horse change for Abdel Said. Bonnie Ami, former LGCT Grand Prix winner here last year. No real surprises there. Saint-Tropez Pirates and the Stockholm Hearts make up the halfway point of the GCL second round. We'll take a break and return for the second half of that second round. We are still trying to see if we can get hold of Ed Holloway and see if we can get some course talk reaction as well to see what has been built in that second round that the teams are going to have to deal with coming up in a few moments' time. We also have Dan Strange running around in the ring for us to get us some thoughts on some of the riders. If things were to stand as they were right now, let's show you what a virtual ranking system would look like. The Scandinavian Vikings would go on to win the stage and take maximum points. The Basel Cosmopolitans, a brand new team in 2025, would get onto their very first podium. And the experienced Prague Lions, powered by the Czech Equestrian Team, would finish in third. It would then be an Iron Dames 4-5 as the new team of the Monaco Comets would then find themselves just ahead of their sister team, the Cannes Stars, and Falcons White United in 6. Mexico, New York, and the Stockholm Hearts would then make up the top 9 teams. A lot to talk about throughout the build-up of tonight's show. We also spoke to Andreas Skau a little bit earlier on. We'll see if we can try bring him up as well. Some thoughts from the Basel Cosmopolitan manager. He would have been very, very happy to see how his team performed in that first round. A lot of excitement around them. Jana Vargas and Sasha Nugard-Lille jumping double clear in round 1. And now with the rider change of Andreas Skau, the experienced man on Napoli now comes in for that second round and will be hoping to try and build them and take them over the line. They'll be the second last team to go later on tonight. So a very good start position for the newcomers, the Basel Cosmopolitans, all before the Scandinavian Vikings of Deirdre Riley and Johann Sebastian Gulliksen. They will be the team in pole position, the team to catch. The thoughts and riders' reaction is important to us now. Dan Strange standing by for us to give us some thoughts and some of those reactions as well. Dan, welcome back to the show. GCL Round 2. We are getting ready for the start of that. Let's show you a beautiful shot of the stadium, by the way. A nice wide shot of how it looks like with all the riders inside the ring. Happening just behind me, the official course walk right here as they prepare for that second round, putting in those measurements, putting in those strides. For those that are new to the sport and wondering how and why the riders are doing that, it's important for the riders to measure the distance between each of the fences. This will help them guide their horses to the right amount of steps just before takeoff, before the launch of the fence. That course-walk element becomes crucially important for each of these riders to know exactly how them and their horse need to ride between those fences. This becomes a very important part as we continue building up here to the second round of GCL here in Doha. You're joining us for the opening stage of the 2025 season. As we get ready for the action, let's go through and see if we can start some of the build-up here tonight in a few moments' time. As we mentioned, starting order, the Doha Falcons will be the first to come out in that start list. Paris Panthers, we welcome them back for 2025. Nice to have them return after that wonderful championship run a couple of seasons ago with the Razorback International. Rome Gladiators, now powered by Cavaliere Toscana, make their way into the lineup in third place. And as we said then, Madrid Emotion, Razorback International, Shanghai Swans, the Istanbul Warriors, Falcons Art United to come a little bit later on. And then Canstars and the Monaco Comets, both powered by the Iron Dames. We spoke to Deborah Meyer, the owner of Iron Dames, a little bit earlier on. She spoke to us about the project, the dream of the Iron Dames, and the amount of energy that they are putting into the world of show jumping, the amount of time and energy and finances that the Iron Dames are contributing into the sport, trying to allocate the best riders with the best horses, and equaled success in 2024 when the Canstars were able to win the overall GCL title. Now with the introduction of the Monaco Comets, how realistic is it for an Iron Dames 1-2 perhaps at the end of the year? The Comets lineup is absolutely outstanding. We had Edwina Tops-Alexander, the incredibly experienced Edwina Tops-Alexander, who makes a high-profile move from Falcons Art United to the Comets this year, and she, for one, will be guiding that team along. Jean Sadran comes into the side as well, and Yoli Mitlineo jumping clear for the team too. They have lots of talent, lots of ability in and around them, and I have a feeling that the Monaco Comets may well have a lot to push for later on. There is that wonderful, beautiful wide shot of the Longines Arena at the El Shakab here in Doha that we were referring to a little bit earlier on. An outstanding stadium that has been built here in Qatar, and it plays host to the very first stage of the 2025 season. And it is going to be the first of many iconic destinations as we ultimately give you a ticket to the world. We'll take you all around the world here, across continents, across the seas, and across many different cities, all having an opportunity to take you on this global champions journey with us. Let's bring Dan Strange into the studio, bring him in and have a few conversations. Welcome, Dan. You were doing a bit of running around there. Yep. You had a few conversations. I heard Andreas Scow. We haven't had a chance to play it yet, but talk to us about what the Basel man had to say to you earlier on.
Napoli's coming in.
Yep.
1m60, so that was the obvious choice there. As he explained to someone who may not have watched the GCL before.
But it's the experience of the man, isn't it? He can come in on Napoli, and that's really important, but it's the experience of the man that is able to come in at this moment, whilst the younger riders around him are delivering those clears. What a wonderful platform, what a wonderful platter this is for him to come in late in round two and kind of just guide that ship, isn't it?
Well, he joked to me before saying, I want the youngsters to step up, do well, I can then relax. He won't be relaxed coming in here because he knows the position Basel are in, how great it would be if they won first time. But bringing a horse like Napoli in, who's been there, done it, and got the horse rug, probably not the T-shirt.
Got the horse T-shirt, yeah.
But to do that with what Jana's been doing, Jana comes in on, is it Dorette, I think? Mm-hmm. So look, she can go double clear, first GCL team event. She has jumped, of course, in the qualifying for LGCT, so within the GCL. She's actually 100% clear within that stat. So Basel are looking really good. Abdul Said was a fascinating one. Istanbul Warriors, they're obviously 8 faults for round one. He was.
B comes in, former LGCT Grand Prix winner here last year, so there's definitely ability there as well.
There is, and he was talking me through sort of the horses just below Bonnie, as it were, and the horses he's got coming through. He's got talented horses, but as he said, it's about sort of mindset of the horse, which Bonami has. He was then talking me through the combination at 12A to 12A BC, obviously. What he was saying there was that basically in the first double, they've made it quite narrow wings, it invites you in, it's quite comfortable. In the combination at the end of the course, big wide wings, which slows you down. And then obviously jumping through that combination feels like jumping uphill. So he was saying that's going to be really a technical part of the course with what's come before it.
Okay, we'll have a lot more reaction throughout the rest of the night. Dan Strange, thank you very much for joining us. We are getting ready for Global Champions League Round 2, the second part of the night. Scandinavian Vikings in pole position. They'll be the last to go. But a handful of teams on double clear, all well within the opportunity of getting victory here tonight on the opening leg of the 2025 season. Let's go and join the action of GCL Round 2.